guys, so it is going to be a very busy day today. It's currently January 21st, I believe. I have my first market of 2025 on February 8th. And so I have quite a lot to do to prep for that market, and I wanted to bring you guys along a little day in my life. You guys know what we haven't done in a long time is light a candle. I actually can't believe how long it's been since I lit one. I haven't done it since I've been back for the holidays, and that just needs to change. This is one of the candles that I made. It's the rose scented one. Looks very imperfect, but it smells great. Ooh, beautiful. We love a good candle. I have products that I want to make today. I need to take some product photos of my new daily planner. I just finished gluing it together last night, so let's do a little test to see how well I glued it. I also want to make some, sorry guys, there's some bugs. Oh my goodness, bugs. I know, I hear it. Somebody's car's going on. Let me close this window. Okay, as I was saying, I have quite a bit to do today. I apologize if you continue to hear my dog in the background. Is it even a Rachel video if you don't hear him barking? But I completed this notepad. I need to take some product photos and get them up on my social media. I do have to trim it still, but it seems pretty sturdy. I think I do about 3 or 4 coats of the glue on top. This one was really giving me trouble trying to get it all level on the top and on at least one side, because the other side I'll like trim down if I have to, but I'm going to end up having to trim this little flap on the bottom and then 2 flaps on the side. Another thing I need to do today is I really need to go pick up some samples from 2 different printers. I've been trying to work with a printer. I think I told you guys in that one video that I did have one that I liked. There's something squeaking on this table. Okay, that's better. I don't know what that was. I feel like this video is already so chaotic, but I have been working with one printer, and then my boss actually told me about another printer that's a local one as well. And so I just wanted to see how some of my paintings, like the colors, came up with theirs. I've been having issues with my my like mountainy evergreen one. It's really hard to get the greens to show up when I want them to, so I got a few samples printed there, like these little, my paintings in little, I think it was like 3x4s that I could put on my mini notebooks. And then I'll also ask them about like their paper options that they have, and I think they might be a little more expensive. I'm not sure. I got like a pretty small job done with them, so it's probably to offset the cost for them to do it. But if I had like a larger job, I need to see what the quote would be like for that. So a lot of technical things, but also I need to do a lot of like product making, or at least prep to get it. If I could like prep all the covers for sewing the journals, that would be amazing and a miracle to do all in one day. So we got a busy day. I wanted to bring you guys along with me. I think I maybe mentioned it in a video in the past, but I do work a part-time job. I actually work at a stationery shop and I absolutely love it, but today is the day that I don't have to work, and so it is full-on Proverbs and pens. I've already dedicated my day to doing all this stuff, and especially since I know that I'm going to have a few busy weeks coming up before the market with work, I need to make sure that I stay on top of this, because I am not repeating what I did for the Christmas market the videos that I just talked about. I was up so late, and that's mainly because I wasn't able to get the products I needed until later, but I just don't want to do that again. I've already restocked on the products I need. Now I just need to actually make the products. The one thing I won't have again at this market are notepads, so if people want to do orders there, I'll offer like free shipping or something. Being able to work on these projects and create physical versions of the things that I have worked on for so long has been so rewarding. I know a lot of this stuff looks pretty simple with the notepads and stuff, but I really did spend a lot of time thinking about what I wanted the beginning of this shop to look like. It did take a long time to get stationery in the shop, any form of stationery, and that was a huge challenge for me, but it's amazing to see that I have a whole line of stuff now with my booklets and my different notepads, and I'm so excited to continue to develop my skills and make more handmade things. So if you guys want to check this out, it is available on my website as well. But just being able to hold this physical copy and being able to create the first version of each notepad has been so fun, and I've learned something with everyone. So my process will get better as I go, and I'm going to continue to learn and develop those skills. But yeah, it's definitely been pretty rewarding. My way of taking product photos is nothing fancy. I have this slab of counter that I got from Home Depot as my backdrop right now, and I like to open the window where I get a little light coming on this. I actually have them a certain way in all my product photos. It's funny that they ended up like that. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's where, yeah, I don't think you guys can see it. It's a little whited out for you guys right now, but I'm going to sit this on here, and we're going to take some product photos. I actually use my old vlogging camera that I used to use all the time for taking product photos. It does a great job with that. But we're just going to get a few shots that I can post on Instagram and share that this notepad is available to buy on my website. So we got those done, and I just wanted to show you guys as well that I will have these available on my website by the time this video is up. These will already be up. These are actually already on the website. This one took a little longer to make, so it's getting up now. But I love that I have this cute little set now, and I have the same for my other notepads as well. I don't think I still have all of my notepads. They're somewhere, and I'll have to show you guys, but I love that that is made, and I have a whole set now. And the background is my ocean painting, which is available as a sticker as well, and then soon, hopefully soon, will be available as a notebook as well. So really excited with that, but that's something off the to-do list. I'm gonna get these pictures uploaded to Instagram and figure out what I need to do next. I'm trying to keep my mind like together between like house stuff, working, and like this, like just, you know, normal chores and keeping up with that, and then like just balancing all of it is very challenging sometimes. But yeah, I'm very thankful to be doing this, and so excited for the next market coming up, and I'm really hoping to get some online orders for my notepads, because it is a little bit of an upfront cost to print so many, so I kind of print them as I make them. But eventually I would like to get like inventory stocked on those so I can take them to markets, but one step at a time. So this is where the challenge of this day began. I guess it had been so long since I made the booklets, because this time around it felt way more challenging than the first time I did it, and you'll slowly start to see this happen like throughout the video. You can't really tell when I'm just showing you stuff, but internally I was getting more and more frustrated as things just weren't really going how I thought they would, and it all started when I was making the covers. When I do these covers, because I'm using handmade papers that I've sourced elsewhere, I like to line them with a slightly stiffer paper, like a thinner cardstock is a good way to describe it, and it just gives the cover paper a little bit more structure, so the booklet is a little more durable. Some people, I've actually never seen anybody do this, but all the videos that I've watched and tutorials that I've seen and how I learned how to make these booklets, I've never seen anybody line it. I did talk to another bookbinder that I met in person, and she gave me another idea that I could use as well, but I just don't have those materials on me right now. but I just like the cover to be a little bit more structured, so it's a little bit more durable for the person using it. I know for me, like, I like to toss them in my bag and carry them all over the place. I've tested, I use the ones that I have made, so it's just a nice addition to the cover, but that involves cutting the pieces down to size and making sure that the paper grain is going the way that it should, and it also involves gluing these papers to the cover, which I'm still figuring out how to do the right way. But with all that being said, it's a process, but this process today in particular was really frustrating. Alright guys, so it is almost, I think, 1 or 1:30. It's time for me to run to the printers. Looks like it got cloudier outside. I was going to take Solo for a walk, but I don't know, it's been really cold, like -28 it's gotten here, so I have no idea if we're actually going to go outside. I finished these heart covers that are going to be for like Valentine's Day. I was very frustrated. Clearly I haven't done this in a while because trying to glue those was really frustrating. I'm trying to figure out a better method because I want the covers to be somewhat sturdy, but so I add a inner lining, but the paper's so thin that when I add the glue, like depending on the paper, sometimes you can see it wrinkle in certain areas. I do think it adds a fun like handmade look to it, but I also don't know how to prevent that. Even if I go really light on the glue, I end up having to like fix the corners because I didn't put enough glue or stick it down. So I'm trying to figure that out. But I think we're gonna take a break and go pick up my stuff from the printers. So I totally forgot to bring my camera with me, so I'm filming on my phone in case the quality is a little wonky. This takes me back to the days when I used to film in my car. Way back when, if you guys want to go check out those videos, there's some of them are still up. But so I stopped at a printer. This is the new one that I am trying, and I am so happy with the way these colors turned out. I realized on the samples I had got from the other printer that the greens, I don't know why I didn't notice it, but the greens just did not show up very well. And this, out of all the samples I've got, the greens, they're showing up the best. I don't know if you can really tell, but even like from looking at it, like you can kind of see the greens. And that was an issue I was having. I'm gonna go home and compare it because sometimes my eyes play tricks on me. I feel like it looks good and then I compare it to the original and I'm like, it's a little off. But if I am correct, this is definitely the closest. And so I'm super excited about these because I can make mini little booklets and put these as the framed image in the booklet like I did with my tree paintings, except those were all originals. These ones will be prints and I can probably sell them for, you know, a couple dollars less or so. I honestly could have sold the originals for a lot more, but I'd had so many of the tree paintings. I knew they just looked really well with my booth setup, and I knew people would like it. A little treat to have a little original painting, so I was okay with selling it for a little less, especially since they don't take too long to make. And maybe I'll keep doing that with ones that don't take as long, but again, they're original paintings. That's the only one, so I probably will upcharge them more, especially if I have options with mini booklets that are still paintings, they're just prints of them. And so I got this done. If you guys haven't noticed, these are the 3 main paintings I'm working with right now as my covers, and they all have a matching Bible verse to go with it. I have this blue one, which the blues always just show up well. So that one looks really, really good. I love this paper. It's so nice. It has a little gloss to it. Nothing crazy though, and I don't know, it's just gonna be so, I'm so excited actually, because this printer, they just felt very friendly, very like small business, but in a good way. They've been open since 1980 something, I think she said, and she gave me a bunch of paper samples. So now I can go home, I can figure out the paper grain on these papers, and I can set my files up correctly without having to get a bunch of prints done to figure out if I did it correctly, because most of the time, for some reason, which you would think they do know, but a lot of printers don't know the paper grain of their papers because they're not listed on the packaging of the papers. So a lot of manufacturers don't put the paper grain, and if you don't know what paper grain is, it's the way the grain is going in the paper. So it can be going this way, the long way, and it could be going this way, the short way. Whichever way the paper grain is going, that's the way you want to fold it. So when I'm making my signatures and when I'm sewing my books, I want to make sure I folded it the right way, because if I fold it against the grain, there's more likely that it could tear or rip and it won't be as long lasting. So this has been the biggest curve of bookbinding and figuring out papers that I could print on that have the correct grain and setting up my files to do that. That was a lot, but I am super excited that I now have samples with like the heavyweight paper that it is. I mean, and they seem like they have so many options. Family owned, the siblings just took it over from the dad who just retired. So they run it differently than the other one that is a franchise, even though that one in particular is locally owned, but it's still a franchise. And so they just don't have as many paper options. The people have been so great though. They've worked with me. They've been so sweet. So I still want to figure out if I can use them in some way for business, if I can, but not gonna lie, this place has already caught my eye. I will say this one's a lot further from my house than the other one, so there's pros and cons, but I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty happy about these samples, so we're definitely going to be using them soon in some booklets, so you guys stay tuned. But now we need to go get my other print from the other printers. Alright guys, so I am finally back in the studio. I got back, ate some lunch, took Solo on a walk because he really needed one. Even though it was so windy and cold, we only lasted a few minutes, probably like a quick 15-minute walk. But I wanted to show you guys the other things I got from the other printer. So I don't know how to feel because it's been a process getting these. I've had to go through a lot of people and talk to different people to how do I set up my files right to make sure that the sizes are the way they're supposed to be. How do I, like I was trying to print with bleed like to the edge, but I guess it's just not a thing for any printer. I did not know that. I'm learning. But I got the papers back and I thought that it was going to be similar to last time where it was going to be trimmed like in half and there would just be a white border that I'd have to trim down. But this time they put them together and they left like crop marks for me to cut it. And I could fold this in half to find exactly where the what's it called point is, the halfway point. But the other thing is I was told that this is basically the same paper as what I've made my other pads with. So like this one, they're supposed to be the same, and of course you guys can't tell on screen, but I can tell that, okay, maybe the paper weight is similar. I think one was considered like 60 point and the other one was 28 pounds, I think. And I was told that they're basically the same. But this one, the larger one I got today, is a completely different texture. And I get if the paperweight's the same, but I wasn't told that the finish and the texture was going to be different. This one's very smooth. It writes really well with pen and pencil. And while it's not my like dream paper, I like it a lot better than this one. I do like that this one has more of like a natural paper feel, but I just feel like it's not going to be as good. So I'm going to do a similar test on these than what I would do on the other ones. I'm going to use a highlighter, pencil, and a pen, and maybe even a marker to see how it shows up. But a little disappointed, especially since I had to pay for it, because at first it was for somebody who ordered, so I had to get it redone, still had to pay for it, and it still is not how I thought it would be. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of trial and error in this lovely life of stationery. I thought that I would be able to just kind of stick it out and get the rest of these booklets done, at least for this cover. I had planned to glue more, but again, that whole process being so frustrating, I just needed to step away for a little bit. But when I was sewing, I was just having the hardest time getting the needle through. You might not be able to tell as much throughout the video, but it really was a struggle for me to grip it. It was really hurting my fingers for some reason, and this didn't really happen the first time I did it, but I decided to go get one of those, like, I don't know, needle gripper things that you put over your hands, because as you guys can see, I started using this like random rag I had around. I didn't get it for this video, but next time you see me do booklets, you might see me wearing it until I find something that I like better. I'll try without it as well, but I don't know if it was the holes being punctured. Like, I tried making sure it was the same size as the needle, but it was just so hard getting the needle through. And this is the same needle and the same size thread that I used for my last booklet. So I don't know what was going on, but it was really frustrating. And it ultimately just made me want to take a break from doing all of it because I don't know what was going on. just stitched one of the worst booklets I've done. This is like, I feel like worse than the first one I did. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know why the inside looks like that, but I'm having such a hard time punching the holes the right way. I don't understand what's going on. The outside doesn't look as bad as it could, but it's pretty frustrating. So I'm gonna take a break, do some work on my computer, put on a YouTube video, unwind, and I might come back to this tomorrow. It's pretty disappointing because I wanted to get a lot more done today, but I feel like from the moment of prepping the covers to trying to sew the book and cutting the papers, like, it's been a pretty frustrating day. So I'm just gonna take a break. I think I need to step away for a little bit and try some other stuff, but I have plenty I can do on my computer right now, so I'm gonna work on that. So when making this video, in my head I had this whole plan. I even made a shot list of everything I wanted to show you guys throughout the day. I thought I was going to make way more booklets. I thought I was going to be able to show you all the new paper covers that I got and just take you through the process, because I know that the market is coming up and I really need to get some products done. But as you can see, the more and more I did stuff, the more and more frustrated I got, and sometimes that happens, and that's why I still wanted to upload this video, is to show you guys that it is not all sunshines and rainbows when it comes to owning a small business. Some things go wrong, and that's okay. I think why I was so frustrated as well is because this is one of my full days off from work, so I really wanted to make sure that I had utilized the day to the best of my abilities, but it didn't feel like it because I didn't get done what I wanted to. So I decided just to step away and do some work on my computer. I started designing some new products that I want to print soon, just doing like admin work and putting on a YouTube video and just relaxing. And so in my next video, hopefully I'll be able to show you guys more of the process of making booklets. I'll be able to make a lot more and hopefully get it all done before the market, because like I said before, I really don't want to repeat staying up so late. It was not fun, and I'm trying to be diligent in getting products done. So I will see you guys in my next video. Hopefully you still enjoyed this and learned a little something from it.